unlike Pokemon and Digimon, the Monster Rancher series never took off in a big way. There were a few circles of dedicated fans, but the simulation monster raising RPG fell into obscurity. Still, I've held on to hope that one day we might need our compact discs again to unlock monsters and spend hours simply hanging out with them. Luckily, Koei Tecmo is here with Monster Rancher 1 and 2 DX as a remastered offering of the first two entries in the series. Monster Rancher 1 and 2DX are similar in a few ways. Both titles begin with you being a new monster trainer, and you're given an assistant who does all the heavy lifting, and you're set loose into a fantasy world. Your first steps are to unlock a monster from the shrine. In the original, this would be done by grabbing one of your CDs and sticking them into your console and hoping for a monster friend to be discovered. In this remastered version, players can use the search feature to look up a song's title or the artist and find it on a list. Understand that these games came out in the 90s, so your searches should include artists such as Will Smith, Mariah Carey, and REM. However, you'll discover that some monsters are locked and require more experience. Monster Rancher 1 is an excellent introduction to the simulation series. After you acquire a monster friend, you can head to your ranch. Each week, you decide what the monster does. The idea is to train your monster, raise its stats, and fight the strongest trainers around. However, that's mostly it for general play. Each week you train and your monster does or doesn't do the assignment, and you move on. With just that, you might think this is a little too basic, but there's a lot more in store here. Each monster seems to have its own personality. Some are more defiant than others, and some just like to play. But somehow, you get attached to whatever monster you end up with. Further, there's a ton of hidden content in this game, from adventure minigames to special discs for other monsters and a whole lot of secret items. Monster Rancher 2 is Monster Rancher, but more. Everything has been expanded here: the battles, secrets, and systems. A nice feature is that it's possible to bring over your frozen monsters to Monster Rancher 2 to continue your adventure, but know that all monsters do eventually die. It's sad in a way. You spend in-game years with these creatures, winning tournaments, tending to their needs, finding them when they're lost, and a lot more, only to come to a time when your assistant informs you that your friend is getting old. Well, you'll move on eventually and find a new monster friend to make memories with, rinse, and repeat. The idea is that you want to complete the tournaments and rank up, but the fun of this experience comes with just general play. The DX release could have used some quality updates, like additional increases to the speed of everything, but there is a fast forward feature. Also, as fun as they are to watch, the unskippable animations during training do get old quickly. Still, this being on a Switch, you can just take the game on the go with you. However, there's no touchscreen support, which would have made things a lot more interactive. Battles are determined by stats. It's possible to build any type of fighter: a speedy monster that can't be touched, a tank, or a long-ranged attacker. It's really up to you. During a battle, you'll see your attacks, the possibilities of a hit, and the number of skill points or will/guts that you have access to. It's pretty straightforward and engaging the more you train your monster. There are also ways to make your monster grow stronger so that your opponent just surrenders. There are some other nuances in the battle system that would require a guide, but someone just playing for fun wouldn't really need to dig too deep. I did enjoy how the monsters learn abilities on their own and the many ways to unlock new monsters in both games. In fact, you may need a guide if you plan to see everything these games have to offer. But whatever way you play, interesting things are bound to happen. Graphics are not the best that I've seen, but these are old games. The standard resolution is kept with ugly borders on the edges, but the sound of the game has been updated for the sequel. Character models have their own avatar sprites that have been updated, but the in-game assets are very hard to read sometimes. Additional features allow you to further track your progress. Aside from the fast-forward options, you can also access random battles and track your online rank. There are also 27 new monsters that were added to this release that used to be exclusive to specific regions. Monster Rancher 1 and 2 DX is a very fun game that requires some patience to discover everything it has to offer. However, these systems are timeless and exceptionally balanced to provide nearly endless enjoyment. There are plenty of ways to spend your time playing, with no wrong way to enjoy raising your monsters and proving your skills in tournaments. Nostalgia might play a role here, but I think these games are a blast. Noisy Pixel is giving Monster Rancher 1 and 2 DX a 7.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Please read the full review on NoisyPixel.net. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all our future content.
Noisy Pixel.